Among the most interesting and important questions that a social scientist delve into is the origin and nature of society. In explaining the basis of the origins of societies, anthropologists have focused on the following questions. What is the relationship between biological factors and cultural behavior? How do biological factors and cultural behavior influence human evolution? Do biological factors influence cultural behavior? Or do cultural behavior influence biological factors? These questions contextualize the interaction between biological factors and cultural behavior toward shaping the society as well as how its individual members live. Meanwhile, other social scientists, particularly political scientists and sociologists, inquire about society and its various institutions and how these affect human relationships and interaction. Societies are said to have evolved as human beings learned to adapt to their environment. Social evolution went hand in hand with the processes of socialization and enculturation. Anthropologists cite three types of social evolution: biological, cultural, and technological. These types of evolution are seen to be interrelated. Biological evolution refers to the process whereby organisms undergo various genetic and physical changes that paved the way for biological diversity. Earliest societies were comprised of the hunters and gatherers and were referred to as band-level societies or simply bands. They were basically small and nomadic family groups and were plainly organized. These groups were believed to be highly egalitarian and non-hierarchical since distinctions were based on age and sex and division of labor was natural. Leadership was based on qualities such as strength, intelligence, and trustworthiness. While the leader exercised a certain degree of authority or influence over band members because of his skills, he did not exercise power to enforce rules. The emergence of more complex social organization came about only with the advent of agriculture and the organization of sedentary communities, the establishment of permanent settlements, the invention of tools, the introduction of new and varied tasks, and the increasingly complex social interactions and communications were significant changes in human society that required new forms of social and political organization. This led to the emergence of social inequality, lineage, and kinship ties, making the introduction of more complex relationships between members of society. The major ideas on the nature and origin of society and state include the views that society is a natural institution developed as a product of human interactions, and to meet the basic needs, society is a product of a social contract or agreement among members of society, and that societies progressed from the primitive stage to a more developed one. The historical materialist perspective developed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels asserts that societies evolve in stages in relation to the development of the means of production and its ownership. in the various historical stages, from the primitive communal society to the capitalist society. People are involved in a class struggle to control the means of production, such as land and capital. The need for control over resources led to the emergence of the state. The state is viewed as the instrument of the ruling class to maintain its control over the means of production. Society is seen as being in a continuous. Social institutions refer to the organized sets of certain elements, such as beliefs, rules, practices, norms, behavior, and relationships that exist to attain various social goals and provide social order. The family is considered a vital social institution. Aristotle considered the family as having arisen from a man's desire to leave something of himself behind. The family is also the basis for kinship, which is a social structure defined by relations among individuals linked by blood or marriage ties. Kinship has been found to have a significant influence in defining the social status of individuals in many societies. Kinship ties based on descent can be either matrilineal or bilineal. Matrilineal kinship means that one's descent is based on the female line. Patrilineal kinship, on the contrary, means that one's descent is based on the male line. Bilineal kinship refers to a descent system based on both the male and female lines. Kinship ties can also be based on marriage or the formally recognized union of a man and a woman. Marriages can either be monogamous or polygamous. The evolution of human beings has given rise to the development of social organizations, from hunting-gathering groups to agricultural communities and industrial societies. The developments and changes in social organization progress over several thousand years and were influenced by innovations and changes to the human condition. The family, economy, education, health, religion, and other non-state institutions are the primary examples of social institutions. They differ from political institutions under the state. The family. Family is considered a vital social institution. Aristotle considered the family as having arisen from a man's desire to leave something of himself behind. The family is a group of people who are related by birth, marriage, and a shared residence. Economy. Economy is an institution that addresses questions regarding limited resources of society. Religion is an institution that involves a set of beliefs and practices of a particular social group. The beliefs of religious people affect the behavior of their members. It is important, therefore, to know how the beliefs of a religion affect the actions of its members. Religion may be organized into a group that has universal membership, called a church. Educational institutions ensure that individuals are functionally literate, while health institutions ensure that individuals have access to health services to promote universal public health. Educational and health services could be provided by either the state or by private entities. Educational institutions like schools do not only ensure a literate population,
They also transmit culture. The beliefs, norms, values, and practices of a society are taught in classrooms. As such, schools and teachers are great agents of socialization. Educational institutions are also cultural institutions that serve as depositories and preservers of culture. Schools also provide its students with a sense of history. A shared national history and common national culture binds members of the society with one another. Schools, therefore, be a means for the state to create a loyal citizenry. There are many theories on society and state. The discussion on the evolution of societies has given rise to various ideas regarding the origin and nature of society and the state. Society as a natural institution is one of the examples of the theories on society and state. The ancient Greeks believed that society and its various institutions are a natural product of a man's interactions. The Greek philosopher Aristotle believed that human beings are by nature social and political animals, and that human interactions fulfill certain basic needs. Society is a product of social contract. Another view regarding the nature and origin of the society and state looks at the institutions as a product of social contract, an agreement made by the members of society that defines and influences their interactions, particularly with those who are in authority.